Oh my god. Get the demons out.
Letting them out today.
Welcome, Greaseballs, to another episode of The Grease,
What's the grease, girl?
where we overanalyze this week's episode of Canada's Drag Race Season 4. I am Princess Capella, joined today by Joshita. How are you doing?
Hola, I'm doing great. Very refreshed from the holiday. Back in the action.
Sar! Starting off, fresh off the Snatch game, Melinda wins, saves Kiki Ko, and Luna Dubois goes home.
Sad story. Love Luna. The queens come back this week. They are returning to the workroom, and everybody's kind of congratulating Aurora for surviving. Thank goodness that she survived. People are kind of like, well, we definitely don't want to lip sync against you.
Hell no.
Even if she was injured, I wouldn't want to.
Put her in a wheelchair, she can lip sync me under the table. Amy wants to know why Melinda had saved Kiki, and I feel like it's pretty obvious.
There's, like, no question as, like, why. Like, she saved her the week before. They're close. They know each other. Why wouldn't you do that? Return the favor.
And it honestly seems like Kiki keeps falling victim to the there has to be 3 girls in the bottom. And I think any other season she would kind of be middle of the pack. The challenges she's not doing very well, but the runways she's killing.
Yeah, she's dominating the runways. It's really interesting to see her run here because I thought she would be doing a lot better than she, I guess, technically is. But I think what we do see is so polished and so good that it's like, it just raises the bar in our mind, I guess. Nira really cements in the fact that she is evil Lemon, and she says that she's over friendship and love. And she's ready for the competition to come through, and she wants to cut these girls out.
I love it. She's ready for some good TV. She's like over the fake made up Golden Beaver rules. There's no rules. You can do what you want.
Do you think that she's talking like this or having this kind of confidence because she knows now that there is a lip sync off?
I think you can almost like visibly see the anticipation for her because she knows that she's going to do well and finally, hopefully get that validation in the competition that she's been looking for.
It's worth mentioning that a lot of people have said that Canada, especially this season, is just not to the level of what the US is, but we have such a diverse cast this season.
Yeah.
And the talent is palpable. Like, I don't know. This is such a good season.
I think overall the budget for everybody, including production, for Canada is lower, and that's why people think it's like not up to the same standard as the American season. I love Canada's Drag Race.
I love Drag Race.
I love Drag Race. Y'all don't love Drag Race? What's wrong with you?
So the other girls, Melinda says she's ready to peel off another layer. She's also excited because, you know, she knows she can cut a rug up as well. Kiki is excited for another opportunity and a chance to perform.
No one wants to be paired up with Aurora, Melinda, or Nira. It seems everybody kind of has assumed that those are the queens that are going to be the ones to watch for the lip sync slay off.
Venus finds an envelope in the workroom and it's to the girls, and she opens it up and then proceeds to die because it's from Winnie Harlow, and everyone gets so excited.
I cannot imagine having to perform in front of her already, you know, in front of the judging panel, and then adding her to that would be terrifying.
For real, I would be like, don't look at me, you're too beautiful. You filthy boy.
It's a good thing that Eureka isn't on this season to interrupt Venus having a vulnerable moment talking about her disordered eating.
You're right. It's a good thing she wasn't.
Venus gives us a great vulnerable moment here, and the girls kind of have a good discussion about, you know, just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy.
And there's a lot of pressure from, you know, the Drag Race fan community, and specifically, and just people who like drag in general. Like you have to look a certain way, or you have to be corseted up, or you have to be, you know, stick thin to be beautiful or to be a good drag queen, which is obviously nowhere near the reality.
Even when someone just wants to change their makeup, people go crazy. It's ridiculous.
Like every time Naomi changes her makeup, people are like, ew, oh my god, I hate
Okay,
it.
but her makeup right now is, oh my god, put on a lash. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
The next thing I have says, I obviously typo, but it says lip sync slap off begins. Winnie Harlow obviously looked beautiful. She's got that like denim look. She's showing off all the skin, which I obviously love and expect from her. She looks beautiful. I love, and her personality is so great. She looks amazing.
She is so beautiful. It's quite frankly rude.
Quite frankly, it's very impolite.
Yeah, I think I'd like her to be arrested.
And I don't remember if there's anything different with this Brad look. If it's just the suit, I'm not living.
I think it's just a suit with some gray Converse. Same with Tracy. I like this suit. I like the pattern. Her hair looks amazing.
Yeah, I like hers better than Brad's for sure. He's just relying on his looks.
The whole daddy persona this season, which is
Don't agree. Brooklyn, I love the look and the outfit. Okay, where are you at on the hair?
I love everything about this. I think it's like femme and the homograms, very 80s.
I like the idea of the hair. I feel like it just wasn't executed right. It looks a little bit weird. Whatever, she's beautiful. She still looks great.
The queens come on to the stage, and Winnie gets to pull the envelopes to announce the order that the girls are going in to choose their song/lip sync partner. Aurora makes the decision to lip sync against Denim to the Sam Smith song.
A little bit, right? Because
Yeah.
don't Denim and Aurora kind of have an alliance going on here?
Yeah, all the love bugs supposedly have an alliance. And Aurora, in her confessional, says that it's just because of the song choice. But I thought that was interesting.
I feel a little bit like she saw that opportunity and was like, well, I can make it through round one pretty easy if I wanted to.
She's not stupid.
And the way that she looked at Denim too, she was like, sorry, girl. And it was all over her face. Like, she was like, ooh. Didn't mean to, but had to.
Nira decides, okay, let's give him a show again, and goes for Fever Dreamer against Amy.
Yeah, I think this was her return fire from Amy's Save Melinda movement.
She's so cunt for that. The lip sync slay off is the opposite of the typical lip sync extravaganza that we've seen, where we have a winner's bracket where the winner will ultimately get the beaver. So usually we have the losers going head to head to see who's going home. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about this change up here?
I absolutely love it. I feel like the winning lip sync queen should be rewarded and continue on in the game. And then you get a challenge winner, which is, even better. Because, bitch, if I did like 3 or 4 lip syncs like that in a row and won them all, I would want a challenge win too.
I think that this setup is way better, and I really hope that they keep doing it this way.
We start off the lip sync slap off with Melinda versus Kitten to That Don't Impress Me Much by Shania Twain. Melinda is on every word. Same with Kitten, which I kind of expected because, Kitten was so like, I have to have this song. I'm even going to go against Melinda for it. I feel like it was really clear that Melinda just had more energy. She was more on the beat. She was, not that she was like simply doing the tricks and splits, but they were well placed. They were well done. Kitten did a good job, but like, it just wasn't on the same level as Melinda's performance.
I think you need to watch this lip sync again because Kitten did not know the words.
Really?
She wasn't on the words as much as you may have thought, but she was faking it really well.
I was mesmerized by her kickball change.
Melinda is a grease. I think this is just a good dance costume. The hair worked well, even if the wig line is fried.
That wig line is flattered in the earth. No, I give this a grease as well. I think it's a good lip sync look. I think aside from the hairline, the hair kind of windswept thing looks good. It looks like she's about to go slay someone. What about Kitten?
Kitten, it's grease. It's not bad. It's just a little boring. The lip sync costumes, I think, kind of get a little bit of a pass because I would rather someone be able to move around and give a good dance.
I'm gonna give this a Grease as well. It's not the greatest look. It's chaps, just like we were seeing kind of everywhere all at once forever. She looks good. She's always padded right. Her body's right. So I'm not mad at it.
The performance was a little bit lacking from Kitten, and Melinda wins the first lip sync slap off. How are you feeling about this weird compliment shower that they give to everybody after the lip sync?
I'm not here for it. I felt so weird about it. I was like, why are they critiquing lip sync? It just felt kind of disjointed in the episode. I was like, we don't get critiques for lip syncs. Like, even in the American version, like, RuPaul's not critiquing their lip syncs. Like, Ru doesn't even really talk about the lip syncs after they're done.
Yeah, I thought that was strange. I didn't like that.
And that was all compliments, too. So that was like, what are we doing?
I wish they would have been mean. Next up is Aurora versus Denim in I'm Not Here to Make Friends. This was more evenly matched than I thought it was going to be.
I will say that Denim did more than I thought that they were going to do. I don't think it was evenly matched.
Honestly, I thought Denim was going to suck ass.
Yeah, she brought us some splits, and she did, like, I don't know what the move is called, but where you, like, fall back on your legs and shit, which I would break my knees if I tried. It was, yeah, definitely better than I expected. It wasn't in vain, but I don't think there was a chance. With Aurora wearing that fucking wig, are you kidding me?
Aurora won that lip sync in, like, the first 5 seconds, like, just from her face. And the outfits. What do we think of Denim to start?
I'm going to give it a Grease. I'm kind of over the clown looks at this point, but I think it's like on brand for Denim. And it was like good. It was a good idea, I think, for like a lip sync challenge. So I'll give it a Grease.
I Grease this. It's kind of like kid core. You know, we've seen this kind of outfit from Queens like Milk before. I actually really like her little high ponytail, you know, Pebbles moment as well. I think it's really cute. I think it's a good take on a dance costume for somebody like Denim.
And Aurora?
Grease fire. Call 911, bitch.
There's smoke everywhere. The alarms is going off.
Smother it.
I think the hair alone is this gives it a Grease. She's so beautiful. Okay, next up we have Near Enough versus Amy. They end up doing Fever Dreamer. I was really excited for the lip sync. I wanted it to be like a round 2. I don't think it really lived up to it, but I think, again, Amy didn't really know the words.
Amy, when she's dancing, she gets kind of stuck in this pissed off look, whereas Nira, she will really take the opportunity to, like, smile, and it's, like, so alluring, and I think that is something that really... Sorry, my cat's going insane. What? But that's something I think really sets apart Nira's lip syncs, like, even from just another good lip sync, is she takes those moments to, like, emote and, like, show happiness, like she wants to be there and doing what she's doing. And I think that's part of what makes her performances so magnetic.
I think alluring is such a good word to describe Nira. She's just, like, all of her movements seem like they have, like, purpose, and she knows everything. Like, she's always, like, a few steps ahead with her movements. Like, she's amazing. And you can tell that she's, like, really living the music when she's performing. So for looks, how do you feel about Nira?
I loved this outfit on Nira. The fringe on the gloves and the bodysuit was smart. I love when people will take elements like that when they know it's a dance challenge. Be like, all right, we're dancing. I'm putting on my beads. I'm putting on my ponytail. I'm going to whip this shit around. I love that. That's Grease for me.
I like it as well. I think it's, like you said, a great option for the dance. I think she looks like a showgirl. I love the boots with it. This one's a Grease.
Amy's outfit, I think this gets a Grease as well. I don't think this hair works in this situation because it's that really rigid, gelled, coiffed, greased up hair
that got shellacked. It looks hard almost.
Overall, yeah, it's a Grease.
I'll give it a Grease as well. I agree with you about the hair. She should have done something like maybe just a high pony, something that she could have, like, whipped around. I actually like the poofs on the forearm. She looks good. Grease.
Next up is Venus versus Kikiko in the Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette Uninvited, which is such a banger. I actually, when I was making dinner, I had to put this song on because I was like, ooh, we're going to talk about it. I have to listen.
Dude, it's such a good song. So iconic. I loved Alanis Morissette when I was a child. Oh my God.
Oh, me too. She's like one of my singing idols.
The lip sync in general was really good. What you said before about Amy kind of being one note with almost like with an anger kind of touch to it. I almost feel the same way about Kiki. She gets like so intense in the face that it looks like she's just yelling like the lip sync a little bit. And I got the vibe, but it kind of worked for this song compared to Venus, who we didn't have not really gotten that kind of like emotional depth from yet. So we had that kind of like surprising element, and plus she's like a model queen, so you wouldn't really expect her to be like, you know, all into like a park and bark emotional moment. But bitch, did she bring it or what?
I think that Venus won the lip sync only slightly. I think that Venus was also kind of one note with the anger. Not that it was bad, but I think right off the bat, she started at 100%, and she should have waited for the music drop and not started it right like in the beginning when it's more like a cappella and waited. And then it would have been perfection. And I do think that Kiki did really well, but I think she was a little bit in her head because of the way that she was dressed.
Oh, I agree. I think the way that she was dressed and the fact that she had to go against Venus probably had her all up in her head. But she knew every word too. So what do you think about Venus's look?
This is Grease for me. I love a sparkly fishnet bodysuit. She looks amazing.
I agree. I love how she is just so like, this is my body. Here it is. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to be just giving it to you. The hair, oh my God, it's so good. I online have seen so many comparisons made of who she looks like celebrity wise, and when I saw her, I was like, that looks like young Brooke Shields.
I could see that actually.
I definitely Grease the look. Definitely love it.
Kiki's a Grease for me too. I love that she's wearing this pastel showgirl outfit, singing us Alanis Morissette. That is something I would do.
She's really polished, as always. She's always got pageant hair. That's one thing I wish we could see something different. Like, maybe we could see her with, like, just like a freaking 40-inch pin straight situation and just see how that looks on Kiki. I'm going to Grease the look, though. She's like polished showgirl, dancy mama.
Venus moves on, and we have Aurora Matrix versus Melinda Verga in round 2 with Boys Wanna Be Her by Peaches.
So I feel like this one caused a lot of contention. Aurora wins. Obviously, that's what happens. But I think people, and I kind of agree a little bit, that it was a lot closer than all the other lip syncs. And Melinda really should not be fucking, like, disregarded in this performance.
Melinda was like, she was that biker bitch at the bar. I mean, she was the singer of this song. This was her moment. It was so good. I love this look on her too.
She was in the rocker realm. Like, I feel like we were at a drag bar. She was like on the bar knocking off all of the drinks. We were taking shots. Like, she was serving that for me. Like, I loved her energy and she had a great performance. Aurora is just so perfect. She's just so good. The hair, like, she whipped it every direction.
Yeah.
It was all, like I said before, it's all very intentional. She's just so, she makes it look so easy.
Annoyingly so.
At the beginning of the lip sync, Melinda started off like a stick of dynamite. I think for the first half of this lip sync, Melinda had it in the bag. And then at like the halfway point, it seemed like Aurora like caught on to what was happening, and she was like, I am not losing, and she just brought everything for the rest of the lip sync, and I think that's what put her through to the end.
What do we think of the looks? We can start with Aurora.
Miss Auroriana, I'm gonna give this a Grease. The hair is perfect. Her mug is never flawed in any way. Like, Grease.
Very Grease for me. She looked great. I liked her little choker with the A on it. It was a nice touch. Melinda is another Grease for me. She looks hot.
Yes. Neck up, I'm gonna gross this. The hairline's unforgivable, but I love the look. I want her to not have chaps on. I wish she would have just, I don't know, maybe just like cute little like leather shorts or something like that. That would have been cute. But I'll give it a grease from the neck down. Next we have Near Enough versus Venus to Pull Up, featuring Javi Mighty, who I'd never heard of before. By Keys and Crates, which was such a good song.
This must have been so hard to learn.
Yeah, it was a lot of words. And I think that affected the lip sync. You could see it a little bit on Venus's face. In the Alanis Morissette lip sync, she was present. She was there. She was serving and like giving. And in this one, she does a lot of, she looks great and she's a great performer and she's dancing well and everything. But like a little bit on the face, you can notice that she's like, I feel like she's focusing on something, and I assumed it was the words.
Nira, on the other hand, she knew like every single word. She was just killing it.
Her body, oh my God. She reminds me, I don't know why, but she reminds me of Betty Boop. The curves and the round face. She's hot, dude.
I don't know how she gets her body to look like that, but if she could tell me, that would be great.
They both did well. I think Nira just, it's her gift that she's just showing off at this point. What do you think about the looks? How about Venus?
This is a grease for me. Serving body. The gloves are a nice touch. I don't know that I actually like them. I don't know the leather really goes with the rest of the outfit.
I like the look too. I almost wish, and I usually don't say this, but I kind of wish she had titties on for this one. Just so she could be like a big breasted cheerleader. I agree with you on the gloves. I'm not sure they go with it, but I like a good leather moment. So we're going to give it a grease.
Nira, I don't mind this look. I like the fringe. I like the gloves on this. I do think that it goes well.
I hated it. I thought it was so ugly. so ugly. I was like, come on.
Just the color? Or what?
Like, yeah, it looked like something you practice to dance in. I hated it. Gross.
She's running out of outfits at this point.
But I'm grossing this.
I'm grossing you. Then for the final lip sync slam off. We have Near Enough versus Aurora Matrix to Black Velvet by Alana Miles. The doors that Jujubee opened.
I think every time I hear this song, I think of Jujubee, and I don't think I'm alone on that. The lip sync was pretty good. I always get interested to see how a queen is going to handle like a lower tempo song. With the low tempo, you have to add that kind of sultry sexiness to it. Clearly, both of these girls can serve that. So the second I heard that this was going to be the song, I was like, shit, this is about to be hot.
Yeah, I was wet.
Yeah, I sprayed my shorts. The lip sync was good. I do not think that it lived up to a drunken Jujubee. They both were amazing. The beginning of the lip sync, Aurora was a little canned, and Nira the entire time was like, fuck me.
They were both really sultry, but I do think Nira was just over the edge. I agree that it does not beat Jujubee. I did see some people online being like, you don't do cartwheels and splits to Black Velvet. And I think what Aurora was doing was fine. I think it was well timed and well placed in the song.
It still looked good, and like it didn't feel disjointed or out of place or anything like that to me.
Right.
Nira wins the lip sync and is awarded the Golden Beaver. She finally wins her first challenge, and I'm sure it feels very gratifying after beating all these bitches.
I was so happy for Nira, I actually screamed.
The girls go backstage to state their case, and everybody is in the bottom.
We have Kitten, Denim, Amy, and Kiki are all up for elimination, with Venus and the other one is safe.
Melinda. Nira opens up she opens the floor up by being like, hey, does anybody want to lip sync? Does anybody want to fight for their spot here? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
And it's crickets, bitch. To be fair, the past 2 weeks, pretty much everybody has been like, don't save me, don't save me. And now all of a sudden everybody's like, no, I don't want to lip sync, save me.
Exactly. There's been quite a shift here in perspective, and Amy is like, "Oh, Nira, we're besties now. You can't make me lip sync. I don't want to at this point."
I know, Nida, we have like a things before weeks ago, but that's in the past. Girl, we are best friends right now. We are bestie.
I got rubbed the wrong way a little bit by Denim this episode, just being like, well, mine was good." It's like, okay, you still lost your lip sync. Like, it just because you're in the bottom doesn't mean you're going home. Like, you don't have to be like bitter like this.
The energy was just weird from Denim. And I mean, I love Denim, but that was just not cute.
Then we have Aurora and Venus kind of agreeing with Denim, saying, yeah, like, Denim should probably be saved.
I think we're still seeing that little bit of alliance between all of those girls when they pipe up, because Denim deserves to be in the bottom just as much as any of the other girls, like, except for maybe Kitten deserves to be there the most because she, I think, lost her lip sync the most.
Kitten, at that point, has to pipe up because I think she's realizing what you just said. And, she goes, I got more to offer. I have way more to show. There's going to be challenges that are going to come up that I'm going to do well at. And Nira's like, oh, that sounds like a good reason to have you lip sync, sister.
Kiki straight up doesn't expect to be saved. I mean, she's already gotten beavered twice. And pretty much there's no way, especially Nira, would ever give her a third beaver.
Not in this lip sync slam off.
Nira ultimately honors the Lovebug Alliance and saves Denim, which leaves Kiki Ko, Kitten Caboodle, and Amy Yonsei Chanel in the bottom with a 3-way lip sync.
3-way slam off.
Slap off clam battle.
During the lip sync, I feel like Amy just kind of didn't care anymore. And same with Kitten.
It's a shame because it really seemed like Kitten had given up, and this seems like a song she could have done well. It wasn't like super up tempo.
I don't really know what happened. I think their energy was off. I think it was low. And Kiki looked like the only one who really wanted it in the lip sync.
She gave a great performance to this number.
And is ultimately announced as the winner of the lip sync and will live to slay another day.
Which leaves Kitten Caboodle and Amy Yonsei Chanel to be double eliminated.
This one's a painful one. With Kitten, it's like she had won a challenge. You knew she could bag another one or two easily with those late acting challenge, comedy challenge, musical, whatever.
Amy gives such good confessionals the whole season. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting moving forward to see how it all feels.
We go from 8 queens down to 6, which is like a crazy chop.
But it is not all sadness. We have to give our awards for the week. Joshita, who served you the best hair of the week?
So this one was so difficult for me. I had to stare at the picture, like not this picture, but I had to stare at them to decide, and I ultimately went with Venus. The hair, the long blonde, it was just so good. Lace wear, come on.
I gave my best hair to Kiki Ko, even though it was not necessarily the best hair for this challenge. I did think it was beautiful. I love the pageant hair, greased up, glued, made out of plastic or some shit with the feathers type protrusion fascinator. Whatever the fuck was going on, I lived for that hair.
Protrusion fascinator. Who do you have for best mug?
What's funny is I actually gave best mug to Kiki Ko as well. She's changed up her makeup just a little bit the past couple of episodes, and she looks so beautiful. The way that the eyeshadow matches with the hair and the overall color palette, I thought she looked great this week.
I gave my best mug, shock, to Aurora. You can't clock that.
Now, I am giving best dressed this week to Near Enough's little red number with the beaded fringe.
Okay. Love that for you. I'm gonna give best dressed this week to Kiki Ko. I think in general, Kiki's like looks are always very complete. Even if it is something like a dance number, like a little dance get up, it's always got every single detail. And I don't think a lot of the other queens had it this week in that kind of level. So I give it to Kiki.
I live for that.
Yasiana.
The Golden Beaver sashayed away as well this week.
Bitch, she died. She's gone. We're no longer going to have the presence of the magical Golden Beaver, who honestly has brought us one of the better twists in several seasons.
I really hope they keep it.
I do too. I hope that it becomes a Canadian thing and we can just all like expect that kind of going forward.
I think it's kind of annoying how they try and like come up with something new every single season. I think we have enough new stuff. We can like keep some stuff around. Doesn't have to be like a fucking chocolate bar and a plunger and like all of this shit all the time.
You're gonna have the magic dildo next time. Next week announced that we're going to have the Rusical episode, and it's going to be the unauthorized Brooklyn Heights musical.
The Rusical is my favorite challenge.
It's becoming one of my favorites too. I've always been like that little gay boy who was like into musicals and shit, but like the last few we've seen have been so good. Like the France 2.
I was gonna say France's this year. I sobbed.
Oh my god, France 2 was so good, and UK 5's was so good, and of course, fucking Kitten went home.
I know, that is such a crime. But the special guest judge is the Countess.
The Countess Luann!
They better have one of her songs for the lip sync or I'm gonna scream.
Elegance is learned. We did it!
We did it. I'm greased out.
I have been greased to the gills, baby.
Full of it. Full of the grease and the goop.
Creepy goop.